The Prime Minister, Christopher Luxon, and Science Minister Judith Collins have announced legislation to end the nearly 30-year ban on genetic modification outside of laboratories and are set to introduce new laws to Parliament by the end of the year, along with a new regulator to oversee applications. The laws would essentially align New Zealand's stance to genetic modification and gene editing with that of Australia, which has long had its own regulator. Why is this a big deal? Well, it marks the biggest step in the space in decades by any New Zealand government, who have not been in a hurry to address genetic modification, especially since a controversy that swirled around the Royal Commission of Inquiry and the Corngate scandal over 20 years ago. If you cast your mind back, that involved the suspected release of genetically modified corn seed in 2000. And over the past 2 decades, our regulations around GM have generally kept to a proceed with caution approach set by the Royal Commission. So joining me now is Richard Scott from AgResearch, Science Team Leader. Richard, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Leah.
Good news, yes?
Yes, for all researchers, very good news for us.
Sorry to cut you off. Keep going.
Well, we just see it as an opportunity for us to advance our science, our research faster, get to our what we hope would be an answer to research questions at a less costly or at a better rate, if you like.
So do the new laws mean, Richard, that we're going to start seeing GM crops sprouting up across the country?
No, there's going to be definitely be a lag phase as people come to grips with understanding what the new legislation means for them.
Yeah.
And we also, the research programs underway in New Zealand, they'll be doing trials before they come out to actually commercial crops, and you'll see these in the field. So there'll definitely be a lag phase.
Okay. Australia modernised its laws, didn't it? I think it was 2019. Do we risk being, or we probably already are, we've been left behind?
Yes, we've seen the likes of America and Australia, China, some of our big trading partners already have, they're already growing GM crops, and a lot of the cotton, almost all of the cotton we use is from GM plants. So we are behind a lot of the other countries, and places like the UK and Europe, who for a long time have been fairly similar, had a fairly similar stance to New Zealand. We're seeing them starting to change their regulations as well.
So Rich, yeah. Sorry, the new laws will make it easier for agencies like yourself to run controlled field trials here. And can you tell us a little bit about, am I right, with AgResearch scientists that have been looking at, you've been looking at a lot of things, but whether gene editing might unlock a pathway in white clover?
So we've got 3 key programs going on. We've got, if I address the white clover first, that is genetic modification. So we have... that's if you like, a different technology. It uses larger changes in gene editing. So with the white clover, it's genetic modification, and it's designed to reduce methane emissions and provide livestock health benefits. With gene editing, we've got a program there with endophytes and ryegrass. Now, endophytes are symbiotic fungi in ryegrass. Mm-hmm. They live inside them, and they provide pest protection for the plant, but those same compounds are not so good for livestock some of the time, so they get to get a bit toxic sort of thing. And we've got a third program, which is HME ryegrass, and that's effectively increased energy in ryegrass, and again, that's a genetic modification technology.
Okay. Is there a possibility of releasing GMOs into our environment that could possibly cause, irreversible ecological impacts?
No, there's an awful lot of background work that goes on right from the very start, right from the laboratory and then into the glass houses, all in containment before they even get out into field trials. And these are looking at not only the characteristic that we're trying to develop, but they're also looking at actually what could be the potential side effects. Are they present? Is the plant growing well, how we expect it to? So there's a lot of these risks that are considered even before the plant gets out of the laboratory, or whatever we're working on, the organism gets out of the laboratory and into the field.
Right.
In the field trials, we've got the regulator put specific controls on us to start with, okay, just to making sure, again, that we're doing the right testing before we go for release.
Yeah. I mean, look, Richard, I think personally, it is an exciting, and it's for New Zealand. But as you would know this, that, as an exporter, we export billions and billions of dollars of food products. We receive premium for our natural brand and our high quality standards. So you'd understand, I suppose, could it hurt our GM free trade status?